I am Ginger, and this is Kellen, my cat. Welcome to my live stream. He looked kind of scared when I did that, like, what? Okay, Kitty, you can go. Oh, my. So, I hope everyone's having an amazing week. And the main reason I came on here is because I came up with a really cool analogy for focusing. Oh, hi, Patrick, which I thought everyone would enjoy. But first, I'm just like to tell a little few things that's going on in my life. So last week, I finally got an Echo Dot, which has an Alexa on it, and I never had that before. And it's mainly to play music. Well, everything was going along fine. I called out a song and she played it until I called out the song Sukiyaki by 4 p.m. And when I did, she went beep. I was like, okay. So I tried it again, Sukiyaki. She went beep. So I looked it up on the internet and make sure I was pronouncing it right, which I was. So it was a Friday night. So I went over to my brother's house and I tried it on his Alexa and it went beep. But then my brother turned around and asked her to play the song and she played it. So, oh, hello. So for some reason, she doesn't want to play the song for me, but when my brother asked Alexa to play it, she'd play it for him. So it's kind of an odd thing. But I thought it was kind of funny. Anyways, I spent 2 hours. It was Friday night, and I spent 2 hours at my brother's house. Now, there's a reason that I'm saying this is because Saturday afternoon, my brother called me on the phone and told me that him and his entire family has tested positive for COVID. So after I spent and I'm not sick. Do want to say that so far, not sick. I did Google it, and it turns out that symptoms can show up 2 to 12 days afterwards. So I am self-isolating to be on the safe side. I don't want to affect anybody. So I'm going to have to be alone with my cat for 12 days. So I decided I should come on and aggravate people because I have to be alone. I know. It's already been, this is just day 3. It's like, no human contact for a couple of weeks here. So that's what and hopefully I'm praying every night I don't get sick because I'm not sick yet. And it's like, maybe I won't get sick. I hope not. Goodness, definitely want to do that. Okay, so the main reason I came on is to talk about focus. I have this cool analogy. So I'm just going to start with the analogy. And, oh, if you hear the beeping sound, it's just something on my phone. But, yes, so I'm going to start with the analogy. Imagine that you decided to go for a walk in nature. Now, the ground is below you. On both sides are trees filled with apples, and above you in the sky is a big storm cloud. Well, you notice that the ground's a little bit uneven, so you stare at the ground the entire time during your walk. So you keep walking, and when you get finished, all you saw was the ground. Now the trees, they were there the entire time with the apples. All you had to do was change your focus. And you got rained on while you was walking because you did not have your focus up there and know that the rain was coming. So you decided another day to take another nature walk. But this time you want to change your focus and find the apple trees. So you decide to go for a walk, there are no apple trees. So you actually go outside of your comfort zone to search for the apple trees. And as you're walking, you meet this man who's walking too, and he noticed you looking confused and lost. He's like, can I help you? And you're like, yes, I'm looking for apple trees. And he tells you the direction to go. Now that man would have been there whether or not you was there, and he could have helped you whether or not you was there, but if you weren't focused on finding the trees, you never would have met him. So you keep walking and you find the trees, and they're full of apples, and you're happy, and you start picking the apples, and there's someone else that's also picking apples, and that person looks over and you say, that person looks interesting. So that person actually walks up to you. Now that person would have been there whether or not you were picking the apples, but if you hadn't have been there and had your focus on them, that person would never notice you. So the person walks up and say, hey, how you're doing? And you turn around and go, whoa, oh yeah, I'm doing fine. How are you doing? I don't actually talk to people that way, just so you know. And then until you hit it off, and then you end up having a romance and even marriage, if that's your thing. But you two would never met if you hadn't changed your focus. So the thing about the story is that the apple trees, which could be whatever you want in life, could be there all around you, and you may not notice it because you're not looking in the right place. So the important thing is to figure out, focus on what you really want in life. There's so much stuff that takes our attention, either at home or in the world, and we need to decide what is the most important thing. And once you decide the most important thing, then you set the goals and you go for it. Then if you have your focus on it, you can see opportunities, and also people can come to you that you never would have met before that would help you to reach whatever your goal is. And that's the way life works. Now, there's many different paths to achieving what you want in life. There is a tool you can use. It won't be for everybody, but it can work for some people, and that's a vision board, which is not mystical or magical in any ways, because if you just have a vision board and no action behind it, nothing's going to happen. But it can help motivate you, and it can help give you a little bit more confidence. And I'm going to tell you how. What you do is you make a poster board, or you could go on Pinterest and make a Pinterest board, and you envision exactly what you want your future to look like, and you put the specific stuff on the board. But make it specific. If you want a car, don't put any car, put the car you want. If you want money, put the exact amount you want. If you want a relationship, put what you want exactly. And then you visualize it. And what it does is, if you have that constant reminder, it helps motivate you to get what you want. And if you visualize it, it can give you, that you actually have it, it can give you a little bit of extra confidence. And sometimes just a little motivation, a little bit extra confidence, if you set your goals and go for it, can actually help you achieve it. It's just a little boost. But if you make the vision board and don't try for something, then it just be wishful thinking. That won't work. So anyway, is there any questions or anything? Okay, right. Yeah, so since I talked about, let's see. Okay, I talk about one more thing, because in society right now, especially in the United States, and no, I'm not going to get into the issues, but there's bunches of issues that people are arguing about, whether it's a Roe versus Wade, or if it's a gun control, whatever. And the thing is that, and I'm going to talk about just personal relationships, whether it's family member or friends or relatives that you're close to, sometimes people can find themselves on different sides of the issues. And there's 3 ways to handle this. 2 good ways and 1 really bad way. First way is, if you know you're never going to change your mind, and you know the other person's not going to change their mind, you can agree to disagree. That's the first thing. Hello. So that's the first thing you can do. The second thing you could do is that you could decide to have a conversation, or even a little debate about it, but in a respectful way, where you don't put each other down, and you just focus on the topic, and each person just say what they believe. Now, it's not going to probably change anyone's mind, but you can get out what you mean. And this works because I have a couple of friends. We're on opposite side of issues, but we just talk it out. And then after we finish talking it out, we just go on to another subject. Our relationship is great because we're not putting each other down. Then there's a third way, which is the wrong way. People, and this is what a lot of people are doing, and it's tearing up relationships, is they're kind of demonizing the other person. If it's something you really believe in and they have the opposite belief, whether it's the gun control or the abortion or whatever it is, they, instead of sticking with the issue and actually just talking about it, they make the other person, they start putting slurs on the other person and making them into a bad person for believing it. And once you start demonizing someone and you start putting them down, the person is just going to hold on to whatever their beliefs are even stronger, and there's going to be a big rift in the relationship that might not be able to be repaired. So if you have family members or friends, you may want to think about either agreeing to disagree or just having a respectful conversation where you just put what your issue is and stick to the issue and do not put the other person down or put the person that's being horrible. And that's a way to work that out, because there are so many issues right now in the world, and people shouldn't be just, everybody I think is trying to do the best, and they're trying to do what's right. It's just there's such big difference in ideology and such big difference in what people believe that tears people apart. And then they come together on issues they can come together with. And as I say, agree or disagree, but still, I'm not saying not to fight for what you believe in. If you want to go protest, as long as it's peaceful, that's fine. If you want to write editorials, you want to write stories about it, if you want to post on social media, this is what I believe, as long as you're not putting the other people down, that is perfectly fine and a legitimate way to go about doing something. And of course, there's voting. There's always, when it's time to vote, you can vote whichever way you like. So, and that's the way it's supposed to work, at least in the United States. I realize I have people that live in other countries. Some people don't get to vote, you know. I know, but different countries is different ways of doing things. Are there any questions so far? Okay, well, that's basically all I had to say today. I just decided to come on because, as I say, I was exposed to COVID, but I don't have it yet, so I'm just isolating me and my cat. for the next about 2 weeks all alone. So yeah, so I feel fine though. Like I said, I don't think I have it, but since I was exposed, I have to be careful. All right, so I hope everybody has an amazing week. Thank you for sending the heart. So I hope everyone has an amazing week. And I'll probably be back on sometime this week if I don't get sick, because I'll be bored because it's just me and my cat. Just like the two of us. All right, so till next time, peace out, peace in, and peace all around. Thank you everyone for watching. Bye-bye.